Bonjour mon petit chiffre, Amber here, and we are in the final stretch of the year. Things are closing down. We are in the season finale of 2021. I cannot believe that. So this is one of my favorite times of the reading year, the time when we sit down and recap the highs and lows of the year. If you are subscribed and watching all the uploads, as you should be, you will have just watched recently my most disappointing reads of the year. Today, however, we are sitting down to film the opposite of that. My top 10, I think. My top 10 favorite reads of 2021, and I'm so excited to get through this list. Actually, I just chose the final read of that right now. I was leaving it to the end of the month to see if something came in at the last minute and stole the last spot. Anyway, like I did before, I am on a very limited time crunch, so I'm going to try to do this as quickly and less and non-rambly as possible. Like I said, I have 10 books to get through. Let's do this. Like last time, I'm just putting the covers over here. The first book, I'm going up the list in no particular order until around the end of the list, as always. The first book on the list I chose literally a minute ago. It was between two books. It's between three actually, but really two. But in the end, I chose Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo. It follows Yahaira and Camino, who are half-sisters that find out about each other after the death of their father. In this plane crash, one sister lives in New York, the other is in the Dominican Republic, and it's basically about them learning about each other and learning about their father through each other. There's a lot that goes on, and I just felt so much of the story. I also have a half-sister who came into my life later in life. We also share a dead father. I don't know why I laughed. I'm sorry. Because the way I said that was so awkward. So yeah, I feel like a lot of the story. And like it says here, everything Elizabeth writes is so beautiful and colorful and fragrant and rooted in culture, and I'm just obsessed with anything that she puts out. I think she has an adult novel coming out either this 2022 or 2023, and the wait for that is going to be unbearable. I adore Elizabeth Acevedo so much, and I'm just thankful to have finally read all of her books. It was also between this, I do want to honorable mention The Grace Year by Kim Legit. Loved that book. One of the first, I think it was one of the first books I read this year. Absolutely love it. Love the movie. I also love those like sort of like puritanical-esque societies. But so if you love like books like, I actually haven't read The Handmaid's Tale, but like what's my book, The Year of the Witching, those two books I think go hand in hand. I also was thinking about putting what's that book called? If I can't remember it, maybe I shouldn't talk about it. Anyway, I'll move on. Okay, so next is A Master of Djinn by P. Djeli Clark. I read this book back when I was doing my comfort movies, comfort films, choose my TBR. The Mummy chooses my TBR. I wanted a book, you know, that dealt with that took place in Egypt, a book that involved Egyptian gods and goddesses. So this book, actually, of that list of the books I read in that one, I think this one, it gave me everything that I wanted from that reading vlog. It has adventure. It had the adventure I was looking for. It had powerful women. Love that. It was even more sort of like magical and fantastical than The Mummy itself. I loved the writing. I loved the world. I need to go back to read the novellas that preceded the book. And this is definitely a new favorite. I don't know if that's a bird or what outside, but it sounds like an orca. Oh my goodness, where are my orca earrings? P. Djeli Clark is an amazing author. Alternate Egypt. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this book. Okay, next is a book by one of my favorite authors of all time, an auto-bi author for me. And this book really messed me up when I read it back in February. It's Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson. This book was a lot. It was a lot. but it was a masterpiece. It follows Enchanted Jones, who is an aspiring musician, and it follows her basically being groomed by this older musician, taken under his wing, groomed, abused, all that jazz. It made me so viscerally angry and just like uncomfortable, and just I had to put it down several times while I was reading it. It's really hard to get through, so be warned about that. Really take the trigger warnings into consideration, but it's so well done. Tiffany is golden. I say this all the time. It's such a good book. It's woven perfectly, and like I said, it destroyed me after I read it. Oh no. Next is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. I am one of the last people ever to read this book, but that's fine because it was worth it. I have started a reading, like a dedicated reading vlog for the duology. I finally got Crooked Kingdom, so I plan to read that. I wanted to read that this month, but I have like only a couple days left of December, so that's not gonna happen, friends, unfortunately. Yes, Six of Crows, I get it. I finished the book, I just kind of went, yeah, I got it, I get it now, I understand. The story is perfect. It's kind of perfect. I get it. The characters, the characters are, I don't know, just so well crafted, real. They're like gritty and raw, but still feel like kids. Like you understand that these are kids, criminals, but children basically. I'm glad to finally understand the hype, and I can't wait to hurt myself some more and go into Crooked Kingdom. I'm gonna get my money, and then I'm gonna go get my girl, period. 5 out of 5 stars. Okay, what's next? Next is Act Your Age, Eve Brown, Please Pretend to Be Shocked, by Talia Hibbert. I don't really have to talk about why I love this book. Y'all know that the Brown Sisters trilogy, y'all know how I feel about Talia. Y'all know how I feel about the Brown Sisters. I mean, I have a whole little collection of Brown Sisters candles in my shop. That's all I have to say. I can't believe that I'm finished with the series. I plan in 2022 to reread them all from the start, especially since we still don't know the release date for the Skybriar trilogy, which is like the spin-off trilogy of the Brown Sisters. Eve and Jacob are everything. I really relate a lot to I have related to every sister in this series at some point. I gotta go find me a bed and breakfast owner to hit with my car. I don't have a car. I don't drive, but I'm gonna learn just so I can run him over with a car, and then he falls in love with me. That's how it works, right? Ugh, I love them. I love them. Talia is everything. I haven't read a Talia Hibbert book that I didn't love. In fact, I have one more to read this year. I'm planning to, hopefully we'll be starting Merry Inkmas within the next few days. Check back in soon. Okay, so next is Pretend to Be Shocked. These are all Pretend to Be Shocked books. These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong, which is a Romeo and Juliet retelling, or loose retelling, set in the 1920s in Shanghai, following Juliet and Roma, who are the heirs of their respective gangs. They are also exes, and they are also everything to me. This book, Chloe, how dare you? How dare you? How dare you? I don't think I've shut up about These Violent Delights since I read it. I probably won't anytime soon. From the moment I opened the book, I was engrossed in the world. There's a mystery element to it. There is a monster on the loose. People are dying in Shanghai. There were some points where I had to put the book down for personal phobias. So there's that. But I love every character in this book. Kathleen is a queen, an icon. Marshall, that's my baby. That's my cinnamon roll. I have not read Our Violent Ends yet. I'm kind of scared. I've had the arc for a minute, but when I met Chloe back at Y'all Fest, I told her I was scared to read it because I know I'm gonna be hurt. I'm gonna be hurt, but then like put back together. I love retellings. I know I don't have to say this every time I talk about a retelling, but yes, we're getting in the nitty-gritty now. We're in the top 4. So next we have Black Sun by Rebecca Romanors. Ooh, lordy, lordy, lordy. Lord. Like, I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say. I heard nothing but great things going into the book, but I still didn't know what to expect. Truthfully, I bought the book and every time I read the synopsis I would immediately forget it, so I didn't know what to expect. I also didn't expect to be fully obsessed with this book. The world it's set in, the story, the weaving of the story, these characters. Serapio, that man can give me a bath anytime. If you know, you know. My girl Shiala, icon, queen, everything to me. Yes ma'am, yes ma'am. Like, obviously there are some POVs and storylines I care about a lot less, basically all of them except the 2 I just mentioned, but I never read a book set in like pre-Columbian America, so that was actually really interesting. And just the, like I said again, the world and like the cultures within the world, and like my brain can barely keep up reading it, so to write this I could never. This is a book that makes me look at my own writing like, you're an embarrassment. You're just close it, give up, move on. Favorite Star comes out in 2022. The cover is atrocious. Let me just get that off my chest really quick, especially when you put it next to the Black Sun cover, because that was everything. But I can look past a cover to get back to my babies, you know, because I need to know what happens next. I need to know the way that book ended. I don't know what's going to happen, and I'm stressed about it. Okay, let me move on. I've taken too much time. Oh no, this is gonna get worse. Next is We Free the Stars by Hafsa Faisal, which is the sequel, the finale, the conclusion, the sequel to We Hunt the Flame, finale of the Sans Araria duology. I don't know what I'm saying. Oh, my brain just shut down for a second. Now, I'm gonna try really hard not to talk too long, because we already know how much I love this duology, how much I love We Hunt the Flame, how much I love Hafsa. There's a whole reading vlog dedicated to me reading this book, so you can go see the roller coaster that was my journey through this book. I don't know what to say. This book was everything to me. This was the conclusion that this story deserved. This was such a perfect conclusion. I cried so much reading this book. The arcs, the full closing of the arcs and stories of these characters that I love so much, every single one of them. This Zoomer, this family's watching them grow together and just become like a family, and just Nasir, my baby, that's my boy. I've said this several times, We Hunt the Flame was definitely, it's told through both of their points of view, but We Hunt the Flame was definitely Zafira's book, and We Free the Stars was Nasir's book, as his story arc. Just what a beautiful man, what a beautiful. I loved him in book 1, but book 2 Nasir, he deserves the entire world. I don't know. I wish I could experience this duology for the first time again. I can't wait for Tempest of Tea. Okay, so next is, I think, the most recent read on this list, and I immediately bumped it up to the top 2. and it's Firekeeper's Daughter by Angeline Boulley. Oh, this one was a roller coaster. There were a lot of emotions, there were a lot of tears shed as well. This book is so beautifully written, so beautifully crafted. These characters, this world, it feels so real. It just feels like you're dropped into Donis's world, like you're there. It's right there in front of your eyeballs. And just like I said, each character, there are no flat characters. It just feels like the side characters don't feel like side characters, because they are real developed people. The conversations it explores, the culture, oh, there's so much. I'm in love with this book. I'm gonna try not to get too into it, because I have like a couple minutes left to talk and I have to get into this last book. But I adore Firekeeper's Daughter, and I need you to read it and then thank me later. I was very honored that Rachel from Reads with Rachel asked me to be part of the Feminist AF book club chat about the book. It was a lot of fun. I feel like I contributed nothing to the chat, but I was just happy to be there. So the last book, my #1 book of 2021, Pretend to be Shocked. Give me a drum roll. Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. Pretend to be Shocked. Oh my god, Legendborn by Tracy Deonn is, I don't know what to tell you. It's everything. It's everything. From the moment I read the synopsis, I knew that I was going to be shaken to my core. Black girl magic, ancestral magic, Arthurian legend. You know what? Don't do this to me. Don't do that to me. Like, I'd shaken to my core. I have always been intrigued, kind of like really into the Arthurian legend. One of my favorite classes at college was my King Arthur class, and I just loved every single moment. I just loved the characters. Once again, fully fleshed out characters. Like I said with Six of Crows, they're all involved in this mess, these shenanigans, but you can also tell that they're kids. Bree is 16. I saw someone saying, Bree, I forget what it was, but I'm like, Bree's 16, please. And she feels like a 16-year-old. Selwyn Kane. Ooh, I have such high hopes for book 2 regarding Sel and Bree and Nick, and that's all I'll say. But the magic, the culture, like I said, the involvement of like ancestral magic and Bree learning about her ancestry and her ancestral magic, and just the way like the conversation of race and the racism and the microaggressions are woven into the story. Once again, the culture that, like, if you only pick up if you're a part of the culture, you know? I just adore this book. I saw a lot of myself in Bree, and just the way grief is handled, the way mental health is handled. I'm so glad I got to talk to Tracy and express how much this book means to me and thank her for this book. And I can't wait for Bloodmarked. It's gonna hurt. I know. It's fine. It's not fine, but it's fine. I'm tired. So, those are my top 10 books of the year. I'm overwhelmed. 2022 has already got me messed up, and it hasn't even started yet. Let me know down below what your top reads of the year are, and what books you're looking forward to next year, or what you anticipate is going to be your #1 book of next year. For me, I don't know. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up before my neighbors get real loud. If you like me, feel free to subscribe. All my places are down below so you can follow me, and I'll follow you back, and I'll see you very soon.